So he told me to, Mr. Purple said too, if I'm going to do play-by-play, I'd do it over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want number 2?
Yeah, sure.
You want me to do the computer? You want to film?
Yeah.
Alright. Since you're doing play-by-play, that might be a little easier.
It's a big game.
Yeah, I know. We already got informed.
If we can shift you as far as possible, then you'll be
Just gonna pick her third.
guys all for the cinch. Boy, it's been all about for the segment balance.
Test, 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 test. Alright.
They go up here. She's singing.
Which allowed House to continue his big games.
You're gonna need that. Test, test. I can't tell for test, test.
Important is when Schroeder runs the ball,
Got it.
Houtzel's got to be blocking, and when Houtzel runs the ball.
And welcome tonight to I-57 Stadium here in Paxton, Illinois. First night of Sangamon Valley Conference play. PBL Panthers against the Iroquois West Tri-Point Raiders. Kickoff is 7 p.m. Central Time. Tonight, calling the game for you, the play-by-play announcer will be myself, Peyton McClure, and our color commentator will be Jay Eshelman. My keys to the game tonight, personally, for the PBL offense, Drew Schroet. Will he have a big night? He had a great first night, needed 200 yards in rushing. Jesse Houtzel last week had over 150 yards. Will he have a good night? I think tonight it could open up either way. Iroquois West has probably watched our offense, so either way we could go either way. Weber, he had 2 touchdowns last week. We'll see if he passes the ball a little more. The PBL defense, we'll see if Weber continues his great coverage he's been carrying on throughout the last 2 games. And we are getting ready for kickoff. Our officials for tonight's game, Chris White will be the referee. Alec Gibson will be the umpire. John Dulembach will be our linesman. Junior Nelson will be our line judge. And Herb Barnett will be our back judge. And kickoff, Iroquois West. It's a good one. Back into the end zone. Weisenbarn will let it sit back for a touchback. PBL will have the ball at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. And the rain is starting to come down pretty heavily. We'll see if it affects us tonight, if there's any moisture on the ball or anything like that. Weber comes up. He's under center. And Iroquois West and PBL are about to start. And the handoff to Schroet. He gets around the outside for about 5-6 yards.
I think that's going to be a big key for PBL tonight, establishing the run game. Oh, Schroet's down already.
Maybe looks like his knee. He gets up under his own power. Walking off. Looks like his right knee, maybe. Ankle area. Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. Weber under center. Takes the snap, hands it off to Houtzel. Lowers his shoulder.
There's Jesse Houtzel once again. He had a great week last week, and we're hopefully going to expect the same thing from him this evening.
Pretty good gain on the play. 6 yards. 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They're able to take the ball at the 31-yard line. Weber under center. Takes the snap. Up the middle to Houtzel. Gains about a yard on that. 2nd and 9 from the 32-yard line. Panther offense comes up to the line. Weber is under center. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Schroet. Schroet gets around. Hopkins on the run. Gain of 3 yards. 3rd and 6. Be interesting to see what PBL runs for this play. Weber under center. Quick pitch around the outside. He's going to gain quite a bit on this play. And Schroed's back in. That's going to be enough for a first down.
He got a great lead block from Will Bowman there, knocking down that defensive end for Iroquois West, resulting in a good gain for Schroed right there.
Panthers looking strong on offense. Moving the ball. Ball on the 49-yard line. Weber under center. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Drew Schroed. Gains 9 yards on the play. 2nd and 1. Jesse Houtzel's like a freight train. Get off the tracks whenever he's coming. Weber under center. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Schroed. Schroed gets around. Should be enough to gain for the first down. That's going to be another first down for PBL. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Weber comes out with the play. He looks to be he's going under center. Weber takes a snap, hands it off to Houtzel. He's going to be stopped. Not for much. He's only going to get 1 yard there. 2nd and 9. Weber under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to Schroed. Doesn't get anywhere, really. He gains 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 5.
I think on that handoff, that play was meant to be an outside run, but the defense did a good job of turning Schroed back in, allowing more people to get involved and make a tackle there. Good job by Iroquois West.
Weber under center. Let's see if they open up the passing game a little bit here. Handoff up the middle, which is going to be very close to a first down. It's going to be a 4th and 1 for PBL. Very close to a first down.
Let's see if we can have our offensive line continue to get a good push here, pick up another first down, and continue this march.
Really running the ball for us has been really working. So if we just keep doing that, O-line keeps opening up the holes, it should be a pretty good game tonight. Pitch to the outside. Drew's going to have some room. He gets up the sideline, cuts it on 1, almost to the end zone, very close to a touchdown. It's going to be 1st and goal for PBL.
Had a couple great blocks on the outside there, and just an unteachable talent Drew Schroed has, cutting that ball back upfield there, making things happen.
1st and goal for the Panthers. Nearing the 6-minute mark left in the quarter.
5:53 to go. Weber under center. Fullback is Housel.
it up the middle to Houtzel. He's going to fight hard. And they're going to say he's just short.
Hand off to Houtzel up to the middle. Going to be just short of the first down.
This might be our, so we got to pick up 2 yards to get a touchdown, 1 yard to get a touchdown. A little bit of a struggle here for us. We need to pound it. Yeah.
Inside the 1 yard line. A whole
2nd and 1.
The offensive line really needs to be determined here and get that push. We really need to start this drive off right.
Hand off up the middle. Touchdown, PBL. 1 yard touchdown run on the quarterback sneak. Panthers out to an early lead, 6-0. You know, the Panthers, the last 2 weeks, have been putting together a strong first drive. Weber into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. That's one of the good things that comes out of the swinging gate. You can do a lot of things. You can run the option. You can pass to the kicker. You can also roll out. There's a lot of good things for you, and the Panthers out to an 8-0 lead. The Panthers will be kicking off when we come back. You're listening to Friday Night Football.
I'm a short guy anyway, so.
Receive is Garrettson, along with Bailey
I'm
Conrad.
5'6".
Back to receive for the Raiders. Garrettson and Conrad. Key players to watch in the IW offense. Henry Garrettson has been running the ball very well. He has quick feet. And Keaton Zirkle at quarterback.
A little squib kick on the onside kick, and that did not work out.
And the kick from Jonah Wilson. Little mishap just happened. And it'll be good field position for Iroquois West.
Yeah, I don't know quite what happened there. Looked like an attempted onside. Maybe just a little bit of moisture is a factor there on that kickoff.
Like I said, it's a little wet out here tonight, but
Lots of umbrellas in the stands this evening, both sides.
yes, it's like a sea of umbrellas out here. You can't see many people. Iroquois West will have 1st and 10. They look pretty psyched for the first possession of the game. Zirkle in shotgun formation. Conrad behind him with Garrettson to the right of him. Hand off to Conrad. He's stopped behind the line by Jesse Houtzel.
That's a good job of our outside linebacker and our defensive end position there, containing Bailey Conrad, not letting him get to the outside.
Bailey Conrad has quick feet. If you let him get to the outside, he might burn you.
Play right there, it looks like Iroquois West was in a bit of maybe a pistol formation there with an offset fullback to Zirkle's right and Conrad behind him. We'll see how this goes.
You won't see Iroquois West pass the ball much. They're going to run the ball, and they're just going to run it right up the gut or to the outside. Zirkle under center. Like a straight handoff right up the chute. He's going to gain about 8 or 9 yards on the play.
That's the
It's almost
simplest
like-
play. That's the simplest play ever right there. Quarterback hikes the ball, follows his blockers, falls forward for a good 5, 6 yard gain there.
It's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. Zirkle in shotgun formation. Wait a minute, he's coming up to be under center. Snaps the ball. He fumbles it. Ball on the ground.
There's a fumble. Referees will untangle everybody. Iroquois West looks like they came up with it as they'll try again here for 4th down.
Loss of 2, 4th and 7. It'll be interesting to see what Iroquois West does with some good field positioning. Zirkle and shotgun. Alignment looked to be in motion. And it looks like we jumped. Offsides.
Looks like a host of Panthers might have jumped that snap count there from the Iroquois West Tri-Point Raiders. That was a great call to change the cadence there by Keaton Zirkle.
Fourth and 2. It'll be easier for the Raiders to get a first down, but we're going to need a huge stand from the defense, which they have been showing good signs early in the season. Zirkle under center.
Panthers load the box here. Looks like they're going.
Takes snap. Hands off to Garrettson. Garrettson gets around the outside. He's going to be brought. No, he's not.
Garrettson did a good job of keeping his feet moving. Broke a couple tackles there as he turned to the outside. Once again, I think that could be a key for PBL. They're outside contained and turning people back to the inside of the field. Could be a big key for our defense tonight. Iroquois West has got quite a bit of foot speed in their backfield, as well as athleticism with Keaton Zirkle. He can do a lot of things, pass and throw the football. Or pass and run the football. Sorry, excuse me.
We're going to need a big stop right here from our defense. Zirkle looks to be in the shotgun formation. Nope, he's coming back on. Nope, no, he's not. He's coming
Panthers
back in
in that
shotgun.
3-5.
Man in motion. He's going to be right behind Zirkle. Snap, handoff to Garrettson to the left side. He gets around. He has a hole. The flag gets around now. It's out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be holding against Iroquois West.
Even though that was a hold, I mean, you got to give credit to Iroquois West left tackles and fullbacks here kicking actually in PBL's defensive players, allowing their runners to get to the outside. And once again, that foot speed is going to be a factor this evening for Iroquois West. How well they can run the ball and how well PBL can play defense.
It'll be 1st and 17 for the Iroquois West Raiders from the 26-yard line. Zirkle in shotgun formation. Conrad to the left. Garrettson to the right. Man in motion. Comes right behind Zirkle. Zirkle takes a snap. Hand off to Garrettson. Garrettson's going to be stopped behind the line for what a great stop. Just swarming and tackling right there. Picture perfect defense. It's going to be a 4-yard loss. 2nd and 21 from the 30-yard line. Zirkle in the shotgun formation. Man in motion. He's going to take the snap. Hand off. He's going to get around up the middle. A little Zirkle-to-Zirkle combination right there. Tackle made by Jacob Meyer.
We're under a minute to play here in the first quarter, as this has been a fast-paced first quarter. Lots of running the ball.
Yeah, not much passing we haven't seen. 3rd and 14.
We'll see if Iroquois West can get one more playoff here as we're under 25 seconds. Iroquois West has been doing a lot of men in motion behind Zirkle, even though he's in the shotgun.
That's what their offense does a lot. They've been doing a lot of man in motion. Circle back to pass. It's going to be deflected.
There's Weston Weber once again showing up in the coverage. Not only does he do a great job of commanding this team as a quarterback on offense, but he also does a great job holding his own on defense as well.
That's definitely one of the keys to the last 3 quarters of this game. The secondary's got to hold up and play some good cover defense.
Like we said, we've been seeing a lot of running, but there's the first pass of the game. It wasn't a bad ball, but like we said, just good coverage by Weber there. It's almost as if Iroquois West runs a similar type of run-based offense. It's just that Zirkle's not under center very much.
Zirkle under center. Wide receiver motions out. Looks like the fullback is offset. Hand off to Garrettson. Gain of about 3. He's going to be brought down. Turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for PBL.
As you see, once again, like we've been talking, Panther outside contain and defensive backs did a great job of turning him back upfield there, allowing our linebackers to get involved in that play. .7 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter here.
Weber under center. Handoff up the middle. Houtzel's going to be stopped. Maybe a yard on the play. That's going to close out the end of the first quarter. PBL 8, Iroquois West 0. You're watching Friday Night Football.
Well, we're looking to get the other one, you know, later on. We can play some darts. I like that. Ridiculous.
Live here tonight from I-57 Stadium, Jerry Zimmerman Field. And if you're not attending the game tonight, you can watch it live and or on demand after the game on IHSA TV /PBL. For all you PBL fans out there, you can also follow us on Twitter at JEO259.
Umbrella and you couldn't see her.
As a second 9
Yeah.
on their own 22-yard line. They were ready to do it. Kickoff went 80 yards, 13 plays, 6 minutes, 54 seconds. A 1-yard touchdown run by Weston Weber.
And we're back to the battle of the undefeateds.
That's all the scoring in this contest.
A second quarter action between Iroquois West and PBL.
Looks like it's moving in, so that
PBL coming up to the line. Weber under center. Takes a snap. Rolls out. And he's going to get sacked.
he rolls out, and he really doesn't look like he had a plan.
I'll tell you what, though, I wish you would have gotten
Loss of 7. 3rd and 17 from the 15-yard line.
Instead of the straight drop back, it always looks
Good play by Iroquois West defense, getting some penetration through the line and bringing down Weber.
Weber stopped there in the backfield, but if our offensive line does a little better job and Weber gets to the place where he needs to be, we had a lot of options downfield there as Iroquois West coverage got caught up.
3rd down and 17, ball sits at the
Weber under center takes a snap. He's back to pass. Pass was intended for Trent Wooten. Flag on the play.
Pass interference is going to be called on PBL.
Pass interference on Wooten.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to reposition.
Offensive pass interference. You really don't see that much in high school football. Football, period.
To try to get his hands on the ball. That's an interesting We'll move the ball back to the 7-yard line.
With that penalty, we'll replay third down here and get pushed back. Walk off and a loss of down here for the Panthers. So he'll be faced with a 4th and 17.
7-yard line, deep to receive. Is Zirkle, snap back. Kick is away. Zirkle's going to take it at the 34-yard line.
Punt received by Zirkle there. Iroquois West will take over at the 35-yard line. Pretty decent field position for this Iroquois West offense. It hasn't been playing too bad to this point.
We have a flag on the play.
Oh, that's a spot foul. The officials are talking to each other. The ball's spotted at the 34-yard line, so I don't know, PBL. We'll get it 1st and 10. They will. That'll be an automatic first down. That's a
Looked like it was roughing the kicker.
roughing
We're going to get the ball back here, folks.
penalty, or I believe a clip is an automatic first down. Spot that starting at the 7. They're going to move it up to the 12-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Well, that is the case then. Okay, you'll re-kick it.
I guess that we won't get the ball back. We're going to have to punt once more. Schroet gets the snap, punts it. Not a bad punt. Bounces over Will Bowman's head. Touched by Weisenbarn.
Hop and be looked at the 37-yard line.
Iroquois West will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Zirkle in shotgun formation. Garrettson to the right. No, wait a minute. He's going to come up. He's going to be offset.
They do a lot of motion in their offense here.
Hand off to Austin Zirkle. He's going to bounce around a little bit. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Ball on the 36-yard line.
Even though Zirkle made a good move to avoid a tackle there, we did a good job having a lot of people there to meet him past our line.
You know, that's a good thing about our defense. We really do a great job of swarming and tackling. One guy gets there first, and the next guy, and 3rd, 4th, they all follow. Bring him down.
Nice to make the Pac-10 0-2. Second down and
Some more motion. Garrettson's going to be offset to the left side. We're going to have a little slot receiver. Not a good snap at all, but he's going to be sacked behind the line.
tackle, but we got some extracurricular activity about the 30.
But looks like there's a yellow out there.
Hold on, Iroquois West.
Thanks. Looks like we're going to have holding against Iroquois West.
From the spot of the foul, you're only going to gain about 7 yards.
It's going to set up a 3rd down and 13 yards to go.
We've seen quite a few penalties here this evening. I mean, a lot of mishaps for Iroquois West. The plays they've been having penalties on aren't too bad of plays. Singling out that one right there.
Zirkle out on receiver. Other Zirkle in shotgun formation. Back to pass. He drops the ball. Ball was on the ground, but Iroquois West recovers.
Looks like a little bit of moisture factor there as Zirkle had the arm motion, swing back to pass, and just lost the ball. PBL did a good job of having guys there to cover it up, just couldn't pick it up for Iroquois West.
Iroquois West is definitely going to be forced to punt back to receive it and stand at about his 15-yard line as Josh Hopkins. The punter will be. See who the punter is. It is Austin Zirkle. He stands at about his own 38, snap back.
Punter takes a snap. He's going to punt it. It's not going to be high. Not a bad punt, actually. Hopkins fair catches it.
PBL will take over on the 23-yard line here as they'll start their, I believe it's 3rd drive of the game?
Yes, I believe so. Ball on the 23-yard line. Weber's coming out with a play. Weber comes up to the line. He's under center. McClure in motion. Little pitch outside to Schroet. He's going to be brought down. He's going to maybe gain 1 or 2 yards. Not much.
Once again, the weather tonight playing a factor there. Is if it's possibly a dry night, Schroet gets a better plant and a cut, possibly that good yards after contact he's been doing this season.
Weber comes out under center.
We would have to play more physical ball than speed ball tonight. And during the early going,
Takes a snap. Hand off to Schroet. Maybe a yard. Iroquois West defense is stopping the run tonight. They're doing a pretty good job of finding the runner and bringing them down. 3rd and 7 for the Panthers. Ball on the 26-yard line.
You can tell Iroquois West has been expecting the run tonight as they've been loading the box, 7, 8 people at a time, basically begging us to pass.
Flag on the play.
Procedure penalty on PBL, ball back 5 yards, make it 3rd down and 13.
There's a weakness of this offense. This is it right here. It's not a great establishing the run hard. Teams just don't have this near the run when you're in a long situation. A lot of the offense based off of bootlegs, counters, that kind of stuff. So teams don't respect that run. They're not going to respect the bootleg.
3rd and 13 for the Panthers. Ball on the 21-yard line. Weber's going to come out under center. Weisenbarn and a wingback. Weber takes a snap. He's going to call his own number. He's going to get some pretty good yardage out of that. Maybe close enough. No, it might not be close enough.
Looks like we'll see the punt team here again as the Panthers are forced to punt on a 4th and 5.
A lot of running tonight. We've only seen one pass. It just keeps the clock running.
The other
and
pass,
Schroet punts it.
the pass attempt from PBL was stopped. Weber was sacked, if anyone remembers that play. Iroquois West will take over at the 43. You know, really after PBL's first score, this game's kind of grown stale. I mean, it's not going by slow, but no one can seem to get the ball moving with momentum. Seems they may get a couple first downs here and there, but no one's really made any big plays.
Zirkle in shotgun formation. Wait a minute, we're going to have a flag here.
5-yard penalty on Iroquois West for illegal participation. No, they're going to say timeout. We'll take it with them. You're listening to IHSA football.
Scratch that. We're going to have a timeout here at Jerry Zimmerman Field. Thank you for watching Friday Night Football. And we're back here at Jerry Zimmerman Field. Iroquois West Raiders with the ball. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Zirkle in shotgun formation. Takes a snap. Hand off to Garrettson. Decent gain.
You know, Zirkle in the backfield there with 2 running backs, sometimes 3, may create a bit of a problem for the PBL linebackers as they'll have to do a lot of cross-reading this evening.
Yes, definitely some confusion out there. It's just an odd formation. You don't see it that much in high school football these days. And look to see that the wide receiver sometimes will come in and behind the quarterback. Zirkle in shotgun, back to Bass. Intercepted by Josh Hopkins, and he's going to go all the way to the house. Touchdown, Panthers. Woo! Just a beautiful read. Wow, that was nice.
Josh Hopkins did what his job is to do. He waited for the play to develop. He read pass. He made a great break on his receiver. That's just a textbook play by Josh Hopkins. PBL senior that's put a lot out for this club over the years.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the leaders out there at practice and just every day.
If there's one person that'll bring fire to the field every week, no matter who you're playing, it's Josh.
They're going to call the shift. And looks like we're going to kick here.
PBL does that odd formation on extra points where they line up a center, a quarterback, and a running back. And if they elect to kick the extra point, they have everybody shift over. You do see a lot of that in high school football, but, I mean, even sometimes in college, I believe Illinois has done it too.
Yes, that is definitely what Illinois used to run in the Ron Zook era. Now they run some kind of different formation where they have a receiver back. Looks like he's taking the snaps, and it looks like they're almost going to go for 2 every single time. But is what they're running here, Jay, is the swinging gate formation. There's a lot of things you can do with that. It confuses the defense on what you're going to do. Last night we were playing a freshman game, and we were playing Salt Fork, and they weren't prepared for it. We went out on a quarterback rollout pass, and our center was wide open. So, I mean, a lot of things you can do. It tricks the defense. It confuses them, and there's a lot of things you can do out of it.
That is the good thing about that formation. It creates a lot of deception for the defense, and at the same time, there's a lot of options for the offense as well.
5:43 left to play in the second quarter.
Jonah Wilson will try this kickoff again.
My bad, Jay.
Just under 6 minutes left here in the first half. PBL, if you're just joining us, leading 15-0 on a 1-yard touchdown run by Weston Weber. And an interception ran back for a touchdown by Josh Hopkins.
defensive play call.
Just a wonderful read there. He couldn't have done any better on that. That was just a great job.
Once again, that's what the secondary positions of this defense are meant to do. It's mostly man, so you're making reads on the quarterback. He just did a great job. Great break. I mean, I'm lost for words. A textbook play.
Looks like a squib kick. It's going to roll out of bounds.
Kick goes out of bounds.
What's up?
Out of bounds, but still, this is the worst position that Iroquois West has started to drive.
I'll go in there and onside it.
Started where at the 30.
That's all I did in practice, man. Kickoff team, onside, baby.
Very good.
They got a little work to do in PBL. As the game has progressed, Rocky, I really like the first series and the second series. PBL looked like they were a little bit more susceptible to the run. I really like how they kind of closed here.
Pretty sure it's a legal procedure, isn't it? I forget what it's called.
I don't remember. Circle back in shotgun formation. He's going to have some motion.
Once again, Iroquois West runs a lot of this motion.
Hand off to Conrad. Gets around the left side. He's going to keep going.
Those are just good pursuit angles by the PBL defense there. He may have made it to the outside, but it almost seems as if he ran parallel with his end zone. That's a good job of containing.
Second down and 8.
One of my keys to the game tonight was that the linebackers need to create some penetration through the line, and that is exactly what they're doing, taking great angles to the ball and bringing the ball carrier down.
And like we said, that's a great key. Like we said, these linebackers are forced with a lot of cross-reading with this shotgun and audible offense. Creates a lot of problems.
More motion for the Iroquois West offense. Zirkle and shotgun. Hand off to Conrad on the left side. Almost the same play. Brought down by Hopkins. And we're going to have some flags thrown.
At about the 41-yard line, they might have got a face mask there.
Looks like a face mask on Hopkins.
Yardage begin to PBL territory.
Flag thrown at the 43-yard line. Iroquois West is not moving forward, so maybe we got a legal block in the back or something along those lines.
Unbalanced line puts a lot of pressure on your containing your outside linebacker.
Refs discussing. Let's see what the call is. We're going to have a block in the back. And a personal foul on PBL. Penalties will be offset.
Off-balance line where you're strong, heavy on one side. Is it better to run to the short side of the field or to the right?
Offsetting penalties, it looks like. Block in the back against Iroquois West and a personal foul against PBL. It's tough to see that opposite sideline from where we're at here, but
ball on the 46-yard line. Second and 8 to go for the Raiders. We're going to have some more motion. It's just so weird what they're doing. It doesn't make any sense. Zirkle's going to take it. Hand off to Conrad. Pretty much the same play 3 times in a row.
Another one of those handoffs. I'll tell you a problem that PBL is presented with. When they have an offense against them runs an even line like Iroquois West is running this evening, that puts a lot of pressure on our outside containment and our outside linebackers to do their job. Like we said, like we've been saying all night, lots of cross reading. Tough on our middle linebacker and outside linebackers.
First and 10 for the Raiders. Looks like Zirkle's going to be under center. He's going to go right up the middle.
We saw that play earlier. I mean, Zirkle simply picks aside to run off his center's center side and follows a blocker that cuts upfield there into the Panther defense. Although PBL was prepared for it that time, they did a good job of swarming to tackle.
Yes, they did run that play earlier on, Jay, and that play went for about 6 yards. That one only went for only 1, I think. Shotgun formation, handoff to Garrett. He's going to be brought down behind the line. Looks like by Nick Heisler. Great tackle by Heisler.
That's a great third down stand by the Panther defense there. Good call by the defensive coordinator, Coach McCoy. You know, that's one thing. The PBL Panthers may not be as talented as some teams that walk into the stadium, but it seems like the motive this season is they'll definitely play harder.
Looks like Zirkle's going to be in shotgun formation. He's going to have Conrad to the right, Garrettson to the left. We're going to send some guys in motion here. Fullback will be
stacking their
offset.
line.
Somebody jumped.
As they made the adjustment, PBL got over-aggressive, jumped into the neutral zone, and instead of 4th down and 4, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Iroquois West at the PBL 35-yard line.
We got 2 referees going opposite directions.
And that's where you talk.
They're going to discuss this thing. Offside or delay a game.
I don't know if anyone attended or watched the game last week, but it seems as if the referees once again this week having trouble making calls. They're making the correct calls, just having to discuss a lot of penalties.
Scratch that. It's going to be a delay of game on Iroquois West. Originally, we thought it was going to be false start on the defense, but I guess not. It's going to be 4th and 9 for the Raiders. They're going to take a gamble, and it looks like they're probably going to go for it.
Lots of penalties here in this first half, costing both teams more on the side of Iroquois West.
A lot like last week. There was definitely a lot of penalties last week.
Yes.
But a lot went in our favor. More motion from the Raiders. Zirkle's going to take the snap. Looks like he's going out on the option. He's going to call his own number. He's going to be brought down behind the line by Drew Schroe. Great penetration by the PBL defense.
Once again, there the PBL defense, like we say, they're presented with a tough task of containing the outside run, outside handoffs, and right there, our outside linebacker Drew Schroe does a great job of containing the quarterback or any back that was going that way for that matter. PBL take over as Weber leads his offense to the line of scrimmage here.
Right on the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Weber takes a snap, hands off to Schroed. Schroed's going to keep his feet going, and he's going to get a good gain out of this. Good push by the offensive line. I tell you what, Schroed's got a motor, folks. He just keeps those feet moving. He just drives and drives and drives, never quits.
I mean, that's just a fundamental run right there. You run off the tackles there. Drew Schroed finds a hole. And like we've been teaching since we've been little kids, you keep your feet moving. I tell you one thing, Drew Schroed has really improved this year is his yards after contact. He's been gaining a lot of yards, breaking many tackles, and that's what we need him to do.
Hounsel right at the middle. He's going to get up the field. Past the 25-yard line, but we're going to have a flag.
Holding on PBL there. That's really too bad. That was great execution by our offensive line there, and a good job of Jesse Houtsel just picking him up and putting him down like he has been. Holding penalty against PBL. And a face mask against Iroquois West, so those penalties will offset each other.
A lot of discussion between the referees tonight, a lot like last week.
I don't know about you, Peyton, but I think a deciding factor of this game, maybe a talk about at halftime, penalties. I mean, that's been a big factor here in the first half, as we've had 3 or 4 offsetting penalties. You don't see that very often.
Not all the time. Definitely in high school football. Hand off to Schroed. Schroed's going to keep going. He's going to gain quite a bit.
Another good job of the PBL Panthers kicking people out. That's maybe not your big gain you like, but we'll take 4 or 5 yards every time. We're under a minute 30 here left to go in the first half. As you're watching Friday night SVC Conference Football on IHSATV.PBL.
Weber's going to be under center. He'll take the snap, hand off to Housel right up the middle.
Not a bad kick-out block there by our left tackle, but just the hole filled in too quick for Jesse Housel to find any room. We got a timeout with a minute 3 left here. PBL talk it over. Want to give a shout out to Beth Bowman this evening, whose son starts middle linebacker for this PBL Panther football team. She's watching live from Florida. Want to say hello to her.
Hope you're enjoying the game, Mrs. Bowman.
Her watching in Florida, and last week we had an ex-PBL teacher / coach, Mr. Don Shields, was watching live from Arizona as well, so once again, follow us live on www.ihsatv.PBL.
Yes, Mr. Shields, ex-girls basketball coach, had some pretty good teams. Yeah, he sure did.
PBL on that familiar wing tee.
Weber under center. Takes a snap. He's going to pass. Wooten's wide open. Oh! Just overthrew him. It almost looked like Wooten lost his footing.
And not only Wooten losing his footing there, but the cornerback defending Wooten fell right before Weber made that pass. I don't think Weber expected that as he overthrew that ball a little far.
You're going to get that a lot in these kind of games.
Especially like we've been repeating ourselves, the weather being a factor here.
Especially a factor when the rain. We've seen Zirkle lose the ball a couple times. Definitely moisture on that ball. It's a little slippery coming from the center snap, being on the grass. Weber under center. He's going to take the snap. He's going to be back to pass. He's got Weisenbarn wide open down the field. But he gets sacked. Unfortunate play for PBL. Fourth and 14.
Once again, if Weber has a little bit of time there, he had a wide open receiver downfield. He had a defender come around from his backside there as he had rolled out to the left side of the field.
It looks like Iroquois West isn't really prepared for our pass plays tonight. We've had 2 wide open receivers. Schroed back to punt. Zirkle back to receive. 13 seconds left.
PBL.
11 seconds left to play in the half.
Timeout by the PBL Panthers. Looks like Coach Graham wants to talk it over, maybe run one final play. And we'll take a timeout with him. Once again, you're watching Friday night SVC Conference Football on IHSA.TV/PBL. That's why I wore a hat.
Almost 500 yards.
And our timeout's over.
43-yard line. Iroquois West.
Throwback punt. He's going to punt it pretty deep.
By Trout. Wobbler, nothing special. It's going to roll dead at the 15-yard line. And they will blow it dead with 0.2 seconds to go. So Iroquois West will get one play before the end of the half.
We're going to have a flag. With 0.2 seconds left to play in the second
flag,
quarter.
as well as a questionable play by PBL there. Not sure what they were doing touching that ball. Maybe let the clock run out there.
Come into his own, hadn't he?
Waiting to see what the flags are. Personal foul on Iroquois West. You know, Iroquois West is having some trouble tonight. They're just kind of putting themselves in a bad spot with all these penalties.
It is a post-possession penalty. And the ball was out of our hands, so it'll be half the distance to the goal line from where the ball was down.
We are 0.2 of a second away from halftime here as Iroquois West will run one last play.
Iroquois West football at their own 7-yard line.
Iroquois West will take the ball at the 7-yard line.
You know, Peyton, it looks like the rain's passed, although it hasn't taken with it the wet conditions on the football field. It hasn't been much of a factor. We've seen a few fumbles this evening. But seeing the radar, we might get a little more rain, but no storm, so we should be in good shape for the rest of this game.
Yes, we should, Jay. Yes, you can definitely tell the rain's been a factor in this game. Zirkle will take a knee. And that's the end of the first half. And your score, PBL 15, Iroquois West Tri-Point 0. You're watching Friday Night Football. We'll be back with the halftime show in a couple minutes.
Go ahead.
And welcome back to Jerry Zimmerman Field here at I-57 Stadium in Paxton, Illinois, for your matchup between the PBL Panthers and the Iroquois West Tri-Point Raiders. Well, tonight was the first night of SVC play. I don't know about you, Jay, but I think the Panthers are looking pretty strong, considering they have two first-half scores.
Yeah, 2 first-half scores. We got some stats for you here. The first score for PBL was a 1-yard touchdown run by Weston Weber. That capped off a 13-play, 80-yard drive by the Panthers. Once again, we talked about how the Panthers had to establish their run game. I think they did a great job on that first drive, really opening up the game.
Yes, they sure did. I mean, it was just a long drive. I think it was 7 minutes long. That's just what they got to keep doing. They got to keep moving the ball. The line is getting a great push this season so far. Senior leaders Jordan McCreary and Reno Jameson are doing a great job.
Yeah, they're playing really well as a unit right now. The other score was an interception by Josh Hopkins at about the 40-yard line, ran all the way back for a touchdown. Once again, we talked about how good of a leader Josh Hopkins was for this team, and especially on defense. He really makes his presence felt in some games.
Yes, he sure does. Last week, that picture in the Paxton record with him jumping up and down with one finger each hand for 2 wins. You know, he's showing really strong signs, making some good open field tackles by the goal line, and he just made a great read, came up out of nowhere, intercepted it, ran it back. Awesome play. 7 points and put PBL up 15-0.
Some team stats for you here. The Panthers have had 21 attempts for 97 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry. Drew Schroetz had 11 himself for 79. Jesse Haltels had 6 for 13 yards. So, like we said, the Panthers haven't been doing too bad of a job here at establishing their run game the first half. Let's see another stat here. Like we said, once again, running the ball was big. Passing the ball hasn't been big tonight, as Zirkle hasn't completed any passes, as well as Weber, who's 0 for 3. Weber did have a chance in the first half, though. That play where he had Wooten in the corner, just a bit of an overthrown ball. Good read, though, by Trent Wooten and him.
Let's head back to our keys to the game for tonight's game. Looking back, see what we had. We said that Schroed and Halsell would need a big night, maybe like combining their efforts from the last 2 weeks, put it together in one, and that's I think tonight we've mixed it up. We've done a great job of doing that. The line's been getting a great push, and just been doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, we've really been playing well. Iroquois West keys for the game, their offensive keys. We were expecting Garrison and Zirkle to have a big night. Although they haven't had an awful night, it hasn't been great either. Like we said, we've had a lot of penalties on both ends. Iroquois West running that shotgun offense with offsetting running backs, like we said, creates a lot of cross-reading for defenses as well as counters and runs like that. So we'll see how that continues in the second half.
Yes, and Bailey Conrad had some nice runs to the left on one drive. He just kept on getting around on the left sideline and just moved the ball, but one play was called back for a penalty. That just didn't work out for him, but he was moving the ball. But after that, we've just been shutting them down, making some great stops.
And it seems like all of Iroquois West's runs that have been broken for big gains have been to the outside. That brings us to our next defensive point for PBL. We did an average job of containing an outside run in the first half. I think that might be our big key for the second half. Our PBL defense needs to contain those outside runs. Like we've been saying, Iroquois West has a lot of foot speed and athleticism.
Yes, you're right, Jay. I mean, we need to just keep looking at those cross reads, making good angles to the tackles, and just keep on swarming and just gathering up together and just making the tackle.
Absolutely. So shall we end the experiment here? All right, we were live coverage here at ihsa.tv/PBL. We're going to turn it over to WPXN live feed 104.9 WPXN. Had a great evening. Hope you enjoyed listening to us. With that, I'll let Peyton close the deal here.
Thanks for listening to Friday Night Football. I'm Peyton McClure, and my partner was Jay Eshelman. Have a great night. Goodbye.
about your financial success. Contact Ted King today. Log on to teddking.com. Northwestern Mutual. Over 150 years of helping clients achieve financial security. teddking.com.
These are PXN's best, the best of goods and services in East Central Illinois.
Keeping your teeth in shape. That is the goal of the staff at Dentist Mike Gorman in Sista Park. Make an appointment for your next cleaning and keep your teeth in shape. Call 815-457-2158. Dentist Mike Gorman and staff in Sista Park.
Now at Chill's Restaurant in Paxton, it's free French fries with the purchase of a sandwich and drink. Homemade Italian beef and Vienna hot dogs and Polish to burgers and more, along with your ice cream favorites every day. It's Chill's, South Market in Paxton. Make each day a Chill's Day. Husted Jewelers, downtown Gibson City. A German-trained jeweler is on site every day. Rings, watches, jewelry repair too is found at Husted Jewelers, downtown Gibson City. These are PXN's best.
Knappensteiner True Value Hardware, Route 49, Sista Park, is more than just nuts and bolts. Knappensteiners is your one-stop headquarters for paint. Whether it's a home project to farm or commercial building, your paint headquarters is Knappensteiners. Check out the gift selections, too, for an upcoming marriage, kid's birthday, or the holidays. Knappensteiner True Value Hardware, Route 49, Sista Park, is more than just nuts and bolts. True Value. Start right. Start here at Knappensteiner True Value, Route 49, Sista Park.
24 hours a day. 7 days a week. This is WPXN.
PXN.
Back here at I-57 Stadium, Jerry Zimmerman Field, surrounded by Fred Guy at track. PBL leads here at halftime, 15-0 over Iroquois West. At this juncture of every broadcast, we bring you the Marin moment, where I get the first half adjustments that Coach Rocky Marin would make. And as I welcome him back into the broadcast, solid first half, nothing pretty.
No.
You know, like you said in the stats, 97 yards rushing versus 49, and the difference in this game is the first drive of the game was offensive, and then the interception Hopkins. Adjustments you would make if you were PBL?
Well, I think you're going to maybe see a little bit more misdirection from the PBL Panthers. I think you're going to see that flow showing one way and come back with a counter or a reverse the other way. Or I think, like you said, I would not be surprised if we see maybe a little bit more passes from the PBL Panthers. Only attempted 3 passes that first half and didn't have any success. So I think you're along the same line. I think Coach Graham is going to look to incorporate the passing game a little bit. Plus, they are really overplaying the run right now. You can see when we run our plays to the outside, to the tackle area, they're really over pursuing to that. So either you're going to get that counter coming back the other way, or maybe some type of passing the other way.
Well, there has to be a fine line between respecting and just not respecting a team, that wants to run the football. And obviously, they don't give us any credit for the ability to throw the ball. We have to prove them wrong.
Well, and we've had receivers open. Yeah. I guarantee you, Coach Graham right now is with Weston Weber talking to him about the opportunities we had in the passing game and just didn't take advantage of.
As we look at the old radar, it looks like we could get a little bit of a rain. So thank you to Jay Eshelman and as they're doing the broadcast tonight on the internet, Jay Eshelman and his broadcast partner, Peyton McClure.
I'm listening to them.
Yeah.
I'm just got an ear over there.
Well,
and
you're
whatever
probably
they
tired
say.
of listening to me. So.
I'm taking stuff from them.
So if you're watching on the internet, Peyton McClure and Jay Eshelman are bringing that broadcast, and nice little program to get going. You get the kids involved, and nothing better than watching.
We can't do this forever. That's for sure.
I know. My health won't last forever.
Our eyes won't last that long.
Now, from a defensive standpoint or an offensive standpoint, if you're Iroquois West, PBL is really overloading because of the switching up of the going strong side, the adjustment to go strong side for Iroquois West. I think that they've got to do something to put PBL back on their heels.
Well, they've had some success running the football, but it hasn't been consistent with it. You know, they'll have a big play, and then the drive will stall. You know, when they've gone back to pass, especially in that second quarter, Zirkle took a lot of heat. They were coming after him hard, and that's what led to the interception by Hopkins, was just getting quick pressure on him, and then Hopkins from the free safety position jumping that route. That play does not get called by a coach unless you have a lot of confidence in your cornerback. If he completes that pass, it's one-on-one coverage with that cornerback. He completes it, it can be a touchdown if you don't have good coverage on the outside.
Now, let me ask you a question, though. When they blitzed him and he threw the interception, that was about the only time that I saw PBL really bring the heat.
Well, we've brought the heat, but what?
Maybe from the outside.
Yeah, from the outside, and you know, we've brought heat, but a lot of times it's been against their run. You know, they've ran on third down a lot. They've you know, you talked about it on the fourth down and long, and they ran an option. What happened? Drew Schroep from that outside position, very athletic, got to the back, didn't respect the inside dive at all. Why would you on 4th and 13? He just went right after the quarterback and took him down the back.
That was one of the most unbelievable calls I've seen.
We'll go with that being an odd call, especially against an athletic defense. You don't try and get an option going to the outside. It just makes no sense.
He didn't even give himself a pitch option. He had nobody to pitch it to, so he was out there all by himself.
Well, with the speed option stuff that Oregon runs a lot, where he'll stick it in that running back gut, hope that the end bites. The end didn't think about biting it off because he knows his other buddies are inside. He pulls it out and tries to go to the outside. Drew Schroep didn't respect it at all, just came in and knifed under and took him down. It's just, you know, they're having some success, but no consistency. I think until they can put some consistency together, PBL's going to be okay.
Well, I mean, from the speed that PBL has, if you're Iroquois West, they've had a little success, as you said, running Conrad and Garrison around the outside a little bit. Do you try to play it between the tackles a little bit more?
I think you just continue to beat on them inside, and it's very occasional. I mean, it all comes down to discipline on that.
Well,
you have to contain from the outside. And I realize they're going with that unbalanced line, which gives them an automatic advantage trying to get that edge. But, you know, we have the speed on the backside, I think, to chase stuff down. As long as you stay disciplined. And, again, it comes down to, we talked about at the beginning of the game, taking care of your house. Don't try to do so much. It's going to be tough for them to establish consistency when you run from a corner.
The reason I asked that question is one of the most successful plays they had in the first half was a little quarterback sneak that went for like 9 yards.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. I don't think you do it all the time. And Zorkel's not going to be able to take that kind of punishment inside. But what it is, I mean, they're just trying to get an edge. They're trying to, and by that I mean the edge of the defense. They're trying to get that edge because, like I said, it's basically a 3-5-3 defense. You've got 8 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. And you know, so if you can get to the outside of that, it's going to be a successful play. And they've probably done that, 3 or 4 times this half and picked up 20, 25 yards a carry doing that. But, again, no consistency. They do that, and that's all they got.
PBL will kick it off to start the second half. They will be moving from right to left. Jonah Wilson will kick it off. He will have the wind at his back. PBL will have their wind at their back in the third quarter and into the wind on the fourth quarter. But for a team that runs the football, that doesn't really matter. Deep to receive will be Bailey Conrad back there along with Austin Zirkle for the Raiders of Iroquois West. See what kind of halftime adjustments both teams made. Weather stayed away, looked at the radar. We may get a little bit more rain, but that's going to be about the extent of it. I understand they're in a lightning delay down at St. Joe, between St. Joe and Moment. St. Thomas Morley, Watsika, 7-6 on the kickoff. It's around the right-hand side is Garrettson, and he's going to run it up to about the 42-yard line and going to get a flag at the 29. That's going to be a legal block in the back on Iroquois West. That'll nullify a good return. And, boy, talk about a team that's just shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they've made some pretty big mistakes. Some odd mistakes, too. I mean, some of the calls they've had against them have even made us shake our heads a little bit.
Big shout-out goes to my buddy Bob Hill. If you're out there listening tonight, hope you're enjoying the broadcast, Bob Hill. He's painting done. Give my man a holler.
Big music guy, too.
Robert Hill Painting, I know. I got a story for you I got to tell you about sometime.
Is it an on-air story or an off-air story?
No, it's an off-air story. Most of the stories about Bob Hill are stories. No, that's not true. But hello to his wife, Becky, as well. his daughter married Jake Leclerc? Becky?
I believe so.
Yeah, or,
I'll just nod and
okay.
say that you're right.
Yeah. But anyway, hope you all are doing well out there. Start the second half of action. First and 10 for Iroquois West. Ball at the 18-yard line. 11:51 to go. Just underway here in the second half. Zirkle hand off to Conrad around the left-hand side, running with very intense leg movement. About 6 yards on the gain. He ran about 20 to get 6. Brings up second and 4 at the 25-yard line.
Will Bowman had him in his clutches trying to rip that football off. Real battle between them as he was dragging him left. They have ran that play right there, I'd say 15
over
times.
and over and over again. But you know what? They're running. They are just forgetting all about the right-hand side.
Right. Well, what I'm waiting to see, actually on that play right there, I saw the motion. I was looking to see if they have anything coming back the other way. Really nothing set up.
Second down and 4 for Iroquois West, 25-yard line. Shotgun formation, flank both sides. Zirkle gives it right up the middle to the first man through. That's Garrettson, and he's fighting hard for yard. He might have, second effort might have got him a first down. See where the officials mark it.
Good effort on the part of the backs. That was crisscross action in the backfield. First time we've seen that play from him. Right through the heart of the PBL defense. Picks up 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be a third and short here for the Raiders.
Well, they say football, as well as anything, is a game of adjustments. 15-0 in favor of PBL. Just underway here in the second half. Broadcast reminder, tomorrow 8:05 on the sidelines. Full day of action here on WPXN.
Oh, he took a shot.
Great quarterback sneak, but I'm going to tell you what, like you said, Zirkle got a helmet-to-helmet shot. Going to bring up fourth down, about half yard.
Tried that quarterback sneak, and somebody knifed underneath there and stood him up, and then I did not see the PBL Panthers that hit him. Might have been Bowman, but he unloaded on him.
You know, all the nice things I said about Jay Eshelman, I take him back. He comes up here with a pork chop sandwich. I don't see anybody else that got a pork chop sandwich, do you? No? Okay.
Did he ask? That's the key.
Didn't even ask. Fourth down and about a half yard. Zirkle will come under center now. Calls for the football.
Interesting.
Give up the middle and nothing doing.
Oh,
and that is a
huge.
huge play call, and that may be the turning point of the game. They gave it straight up the middle, and Reno Jamison blew through there and made a great defensive play, and it'll turn it over on down to be first and 10 for PBL at the 26-yard line.
Boy, the down 3 of the PBL Panthers that time. Jordan Anderson. Looked like Nick Heisler was in there as well. They just stormed. That right there is your lack of respect on your opponent, thinking that they can run right up the middle on you, deep in their own territory. No success that time. Now PBL needs to capitalize.
First and 10 for PBL at the 27-yard line. Flash off to the southeast there. Weber brings them under center. Little mix-up in the backfield on the handoff to Housel as they ran into each other. Loss of 3 on the play. And I'm going to go out on a limb because you know what? I can be critical. Yes, I can. Reno Jamison, I thought that last year Reno, playing his first year of football, was a little soft, and I thought he was going to have to, if he was going to anchor both the offensive and defensive line, he was going to have to hit the weight room. He has really played well through the first 3 games of the year.
I think if he was soft, he would not be playing a down lineman position in this defense. You cannot be soft and play one of the down 3 linemen in this defense.
But he has made some big plays, and none bigger than the one he just made there to turn the ball over on downs. Back to pass, Weber. She's passed out here. Wide open is Hopkins, or Schroet cuts it back in. Touchdown. Great play call there by Brock Niebuhr, the offensive coordinator, and PBL takes it 30 yards for the touchdown. That's what I'm talking about. Just rolled, set his feet. Schroet wide open, and with 8:47 to go here in the third quarter, PBL extends their lead to 21-0.
Well, it's still play action, though. That is still play action. You're faking to that fullback inside. When you have a fullback that can pick up yardage, they're going to bite on that fake, and you just get behind those linebackers. Nice play from the Panthers.
On to attempt the point after conversion is Jonah Wilson. Holder will be Weber. Wide open, well-thrown ball. Had plenty of time. Great execution of that play call. There's a snapback. Placement. Kick is up. And the kick is no good, and a flag on the play
Holy cow, they destroyed Jonah Wilson.
It's going to be a roughing the kicker. Now, answer me this. Is this assessed on this play or on the kickoff?
They'll get a chance to go for it again here.
Well, they got some heat on him, but, boy, they blew him up once they finally got through there. I think you go for 2 here.
Looks like they're well, it's that swinging game, so who knows what they'll do here.
Yeah, well, swinging gate. They got all their linemen to the left. The center is Bowman. Weber's the quarterback. Schroet's right to him, to the right. Now they'll move it back in the formation, and they will try the point after conversion. Bowman is the snapper. Weber is the holder. Snap back, placement, kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 8:47 to go now in the third quarter, your score, PBL 22, Iroquois West 0. You're listening to IHSA Football here on 104.9 WPXN.
The First National Bank in Paxton wants to be your bank. They have the right home loan products for you, and with their low interest rates, now is an excellent time to take advantage of one of their many financing options. With these competitive rates, you can finally buy the home of your dreams or refinance your current home to lower your monthly payments. Stop in today to speak with an experienced professional to discuss the great mortgage products they have to offer. You'll be glad you did. The First National Bank in Paxton, an equal housing lender and member FDIC, NMLS number 408246.
For letterhead, call Buyer Publishing, Sister Park. For envelopes, call Buyer Publishing in Sister Park. For direct mail, booklet, posters, and all kinds of things, call Buyer Publishing in Sister Park. The number to remember is 815-457-2245. That's 815-457-2245. The great professionals are Buyer Publishing in Sister Park.
With you at home, in the car, and at work, providing the music you want and the information you need. This is 104.9 WPXN.
Well, Rocky, you said it best. After that turnover, it was imperative that we made them pay, and we did. 30-yard touchdown pass from Weston Weber to Drew Schroet. Point after conversion by Wilson is up and good. PBL leads 22-0, 8:47 to go here in this third quarter. The kickoff will be Wilson. He kicked it away. High kick. Going to be taken at about the 34-yard line by an up back, and he's going to be dropped at about the 39-yard line. Good downfield coverage by the Panthers, and that's where Iroquois West, who needs to get something going offensively, will take over. First and 10 at their own 39.
Coach Graham would like nothing better than to be able to get this football back and then grind out some clock and chew up a lot of clock here in the third quarter. A nice commanding 22-0 lead, having success defensively. That last series, Iroquois West challenged them by going for it on their own 30-yard line. PBL stood up with two stands there on third and short. Good job of getting the ball and then going for the kill shot right there with that pass. Just Schroet in the flat.
Just one of them things, too. Coach Harris has made a couple interesting play calls there on that fourth down in the yard. They give a straight handoff, allow PBL to kind of shoot the gap in the middle. They give it around the right-hand side to Conrad. He flips, lost a 4 on the play. Brings up second down and 14, and also that option play on fourth down.
I think that was a great job by Timmy Keir that time from that outside linebacker. That play was trying to get to the outside of the wide side of the field. Timmy Keir did a great job of fighting off that block. He had nothing to do with the tackle, but he turned it back inside with the rest of the team.
What you want to do is you want to turn it back into the old rate. I think you got 7 other guys out there. You don't have anything outside. Second down, and call 13 for their football. That's just a 36-yard line. Two receivers to the left, back to pass. Pressure coming on Zirkle, sets his feet, shoots the pass out here, and it's complete to the 44-yard line, then tackled immediately.
Perfect.
Tackle out there is going to be made by Will McClure. At the 43-yard line, it's going to bring up third down and 6.
PBL came up. Most of the time when PBL plays coverage on the outside, they're 5 yards off the football. That time they came up into press coverage, which led me to believe they're going to come with a blitz. PBL did just that. They came with a heavy blitz from the outside, forced the quick throw. PBL did a good job. Allowed them to complete the pass, but made the tackle immediately. Didn't allow any yards after catch.
Boy, that's an interesting, that's a very big stat, too. YAC, they call it, yards after catch. 3rd down and 6 from the 43-yard line of Iroquois left. Shotgun formation on down line to the short side of the field. Snap back at the low end. Zirkle in trouble. Steps up. Oh, he's got room to run around the left-hand side. Low snap. PBL rush. He stepped up in the pocket and was able to get the first down.
Yeah, just both rushers got in there quick, but they got over the top. He stepped up into the pocket after the bad snap. Still might be about a yard short of the first down.
Well, I thought he got the first down, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. So once again, 4th down and 2, and you definitely down 22-0, 7-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. If you're Iroquois West, you got to go for it. Shotgun. Running back are Conrad and Garrison. Off to the football, low snap. Back to him, on his feet. Fighting hard for yardage, gets to midfield. Well, I'm going to tell you what, he might have got first down in the heat on midfield. In Iroquois West at midfield.
That's just power up. He had to break a lot of tackles to do it. So, I mean, you can't really fault the PBL Panthers there. They had opportunities to hit him. Just couldn't quite get him ground. First down for the Iroquois West Raiders.
You know, the thing about it is they've got him in the shotgun formation, and they've really had some trouble with the center quarterback exchange from the shotgun. He's had to dig that ball out of the turf on a number of occasions this season. PBL 6:43 to go, 1st and 10 for Iroquois West. 43 minutes for the quarter. Shotgun formation. Give it around the left-hand side to Garrett. Garrett hard for yardage. Good pursuit that time by the PBL defense on the tackle there is Jordan Anderson, 51.
But you got to have those down lines. They have to pursue after they engage the offensive line because the guy is going to attack them. There's no line pursuing. It's a free cutback. So it's a great job of the defensive line of getting off their blocks and getting down to the side of the football field to stop that cutback. I think eventually we're going to see Zirkle keep this football. He's starting, they're doing this speed handoff to the unbound line to the left side. Wide side of the football field is wide open. It's one-on-one with Blue.
That's from the shotgun. 2nd down and 7. PBL jumps on side once again. You could tell they were definitely coming with a blitz that time because Schroet was chomping at the bit, and that's going to cost PBL 5 yards.
Those penalties are not going to make Coach McCoy happy. That's the kind of things that will hurt you. You need to be able to be disciplined enough not to jump on those hard counts. And Zirkle's got us, I think, 3 or 4 times
that's
tonight.
the third time tonight. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 2. Earlier, Jordan Anderson made that tackle. I'm looking here on the roster. 5'3".
Yeah.
Sophomore.
Yep.
200 pounds, defensive tackle.
Built low to the ground. Strong kid. Good kid. Super good kid.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with him. You're listening to IHSA Football here on 104.9 WPXN.
Life is full of changes and challenges. The right life insurance coverage can help you plan ahead for whatever may happen, both expected and unexpected. Call or visit your local Pekin Insurance Agency, Prairieland Insurance, and Paxton and Rantoul about the wide range of life insurance products that can be your life preserver for whatever stage of life you are in. Universal life, term life, preferred whole life, single-pay child life, annuities, and more. We'll go beyond the expected for you and your loved ones. Call Prairieland Insurance, your Pekin Insurance Agency at 379-2188 or 892-9200 today about life insurance.
Hey, the band sounded great tonight at the game.
Yeah, they were awesome. Hey, John, I've been thinking, and I need to open up a checking account. But how much is that going to cost me?
At First Bank, we have free checking accounts.
Free?
Yeah, First Bank has free personal checking accounts. And you can use your laptop for online banking and view your e-statements. We have First Bank locations in Rantoul, visit us at firstbank.com.
First Bank free checking account.
Zirkle. The Zirkle was incomplete.
They had a double. That was a high throw, and thank goodness it was high because the PBL Panthers were the ones in better position to catch that football on the quick slant to the wide side of the football.
Going to bring up 3rd down and 3 for Iroquois West at the PBL.
That was a great tackle.
Laid a shoulder in there.
He sure did. Picked him up off the ground. The running back still had his feet going, but he wasn't going anywhere and got buried. 4th down and short again here for the Raiders. Had to do that pass to that.
Hey, that's fine. He was great. Football players back in the day playing through everything, and he was just absolutely almost crippled with arthritis, and
well, that's a big issue today.
Yeah, I shook his hand one time, and his hand looked like a cloth, so arthritic and stuff like that, and he was one of NFL's greatest ever. Him and Dick Butkus.
That's for 14 years.
That's how you play defense. That penalty brings the ball back in. 4 years play. Inside the 15-yard line. Go for the punt. Snap back is Goodman. Inches away. It's a low wobbler. It's going to hit it about the 1-yard line. Weisenberg and Bailey Conrad were really going at it at the 25-yard line.
Well, that was Weisenbarn. Really wasn't playing football. Bailey Conrad was, and he came and played a shot on the. I guarantee you Zach will have to bet on a swivel from now on.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for PBL. Ball at the 18-yard line. Now it's time to run the clock.
Well, this is a huge drive for the PBL Panthers. You can really stick the dash in, for lack of a better word, if you can just methodically work this football down the field. Don't necessarily have to get a score, but if you can take off, 5, 6, 7 minutes here, you can pretty much wrap this game up with a nice long drive.
4:51 to go in the 3rd. 22-0 in favor of PBL. In formation, Weber under center. Calls for the football. Man in motion from right to left. Pitches it out. Cuts back in as Schroed. Schroed on his feet across the 20-yard line up to about the 24. I'm going to tell you what, he's
yeah, absolutely. He cut that back to the inside and took on a couple of tackles that time. Again, surging forward, picks up good yardage on the 1st down carry, and a quick pitch to the left side.
There's just running backs that thrive for contact.
There is. And, I don't know if he's exactly that type. What he is so great at is cut. Now, with this tonight's field is taking away a little bit of his speed and ability to cut on the side. But again, he's showing great power.
Second down and 4 for PBL. Second man through is Schroed. Zigzag is called, or crisscross.
Crisscross action in the backfield. Fullback dives to the left. Halfback kind of bellies a little bit going to his right side, and he gets the handoff. And most of the time when that handoff takes place, quarterback's back is to the defense. So that handoff takes place, and the defense cannot see it.
3rd down a yard for PBL. Ball sits at the 27-yard line. Field's held up nicely. We haven't had any rain since the initial start of the game. Down the yard. All for the football. Get up the middle to kept it. Looks like it's taken to Housel. Kept it. Got a couple on the play. 1st and 10 PBL. On 30-yard line.
Takes the handoff to Housel that time. Housel does a nice job of kicking out the last man line of scrimmage. Weston just keeps the football, rides his fullback down the line. When he sees a gap to the backside, he cuts through it, picks up 2 or 3 yards on that carry, but enough for a 1st down.
14-12, St. Thomas More leads Watsika.
Big game in the SBC tonight.
Boy, talk about that defense of St. Thomas More.
Hybrid.
Be anxious to see Strouser again.
rights too, I believe. I think he does.
First and 10. A little delay handoff to Schroep. Couple on the play. Drops it to 33-yard line. Second down and 7.
Faithful play there for the PBL Panthers. Backside guard pulls, kicks out the last down line of scrimmage to the right side. Brewer reads that and cuts it up, picks up 2 or 3 yards on the first down carry. PBL probably ran that play 50% of the time this year.
They've been ordered to Purdue to Ross A. Stadium. Nice stadium. Oh, like
yeah.
Had some work over there about a month ago and kind of took the day and we were back here again. Here's the foul. Still 5 the touchdown on it.
Weston Weber had some pressure right in his face that time. Did a good job of getting rid of the football. Stepped right into the pass, took the hit. Nice pass, nice completion. It's going to be 3rd and short here for the Panthers.
2 minutes to go here, 3rd quarter. 22-0 in favor of PBL. Now, when you get a guy that wide open, is it because the wide receiver runs off the coverage, the cornerback, and be able to just kind of post the running back in?
They're matching up interior linebackers with our running back. He's going to just deep into the flat. He's going to be open by 5 yards.
There's that shot. Off of the football. Coming up the middle of the house. That's the 40-yard line.
Well, the key thing is you got 40. That's all you're going to do there. That's what you want to do. Fullback. Pick yourself up 1 or 2 yards. Whatever you need it. Interior line, 1 or 2 yards.
Oh, I do. I love it.
Guys that Weston Weber completely down the line, pick up that option. Take that out, football, brother, wow, stuff isn't it?
All one, you don't say Jeff Schroep again.
Well, I've done it 3 weeks in a row, so maybe we have to keep doing that too.
I got a question for you when you get to the time. Kind of a coordination. Second down and 8 for PBL, 42-yard line. Right, good. Run out of a wing keep formation, but you rarely see the wing, the tour, run the football. Do you feel like a deep play from that?
No, and he's good. I think he's a great on PBL run. That's the big honest. You'll show that toe to the right and come back to that wing.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. It's the score. Football here on 104.9 WBSN.
Seymour and Save More at Shields Auto Mart in Paxton and Shields Auto Center in Rantoul. Look at the new 2012 Chevrolet cars, trucks, and vans at Shields in Paxton. How about a new Chevrolet Volt? Plus the best in customer service and vehicle repair. Seymour and Save More at Shields. Shields Auto Mart, Route 9 at Interstate 57, Paxton. Seymour and Save More at Shields Auto Center in Rantoul. Look at the new 2012 Ford, Jeeps, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in stock. Shields is working in the 225 in Rantoul. Plus the best in customer service and vehicle repair. Seymour and Save More at Shields in Rantoul. It's the Shields Auto Group of Paxton and Rantoul.
Ticket to a world of sports, serving Ford, Iroquois, Champaign, and Logan County. This is 104.9 WPXN.
Start 4th quarter action. PBL. Get back to live action, first and 10 for Iroquois West. His quickness around that right-hand side.
Well, that's what it looked like. It looked like Hopkins did get him out of bounds way back. He kept running after Hopkins pushed him out of bounds. And that's what the safety has to do. You know, there's going to come a time where a guy's and that's what he did there. Big gain for him there on first down, but Hopkins did his job, come up and made it back.
First and 10 for Iroquois West against PBL.
And we're back here as we were informed that our WPXN feed was a little staticky, so I guess our goodbyes turned into a hello here as we're back present here. Peyton McClure, my right-hand man.
It's good to be here with you, Jay.
8:50, about 8:50 left in the fourth quarter. Like we were saying earlier, really a fast-paced game, a lot of running the football, which you like to see. And a lot of great execution on the PBL side of the football as well.
Just a lot of hard-nosed football. A lot of guys running hard like Coach Graham always says in practice. Not a lot of passing tonight. You know, we saw a little more passing by PBL, a few rollouts by Weston Weber. The quarterback opened up some things for the Panthers tonight.
You're right. Even here, mid-fourth quarter, you would think as an Iroquois West team down 22, you might look to go to the air, but like we said, it's been a very, very run-based game this evening.
And just like I said, not a whole lot of passing. Nice, cool night here at Jerry Zimmerman Field. The rain brought in some cool weather, it seems to be. Zirkle in the shotgun formation. Garrettson to the left, Conrad to the right. He's back to pass. He's going to get sacked by Trent. Ball is loose, but they say he was down. Wow. He was pancaked, blindsided by Trent Wooten, number 27. What a hit.
A host of Panthers on that sack there. Once again, that's just good fundamental defense, turning quarterbacks back upfield. Great coverage in the secondary. Got to give them a lot of credit. Being ball hawks over all receivers. Just a great down right there by the PBL Panther defense.
That's one of those shots where the quarterback takes, and he's like, hey, what happened there? You know, it's just you never see it coming.
Absolutely. And the thing about Zirkle is, great athleticism, plays both sides of the ball. So, as a coach, you might cringe every time you see him get hit hard like that. The PBL Panthers have done a good job of that this evening.
Yeah, especially this early in the season. They're going to go for it. It's 3rd and 21. Zirkle in the shotgun formation. They're going to have an offset running back. He's back to pass. He has some time, but Vaughn Ginsler. No. Trent Wooten. Once again, creating pressure. Like Jay and I said earlier, the linebacker core and the secondary is going to have to create some pressure, force some turnovers, and create some sacks.
Like you said there, the defensive line did a great job of occupying every man, opening up holes for linebackers like Will Bowman and Drew Schroet and Trent Wooten to get after that quarterback. And once again, you got to give a lot of credit to your secondary, covering all receivers, just giving Zirkle no options at all.
Yeah, when he has a lot of time like that, and he just doesn't pass, you can tell. I mean, great secondary coverage by the Panthers all right there. Vaughn Ginsler and Weston Weber have been doing a great job this season.
They're going to be forced to punt here on 4th and very long. I think it's about 30.
Zirkle back to punt, and Hopkins back to receive. Takes the snap. He's going to punt it. It's going to be really high. It's not going to be very far. It's going to bounce near Will Bowman. And it looks like they're going to touch it at about the 26-yard line.
That was a good punt there by Zirkle. Hopkins opted to let it drop. Probably a good decision there. There was a host of Raiders running down the field, but good roll there as the Panthers will be pinned deep in their territory to start this drive.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably a good decision because you never know if it hits you and they pick it up and run it in, and how the tides could turn with that. But great decision by Josh Hopkins to let it roll. We have a 550 marker left in this game. Panthers have a 22-point lead. Weber under center. He's going to take the snap. Quarterback keeper, he has a lot of room to run. He gets it down the right sideline. Good block by Trent Wooten. And Weber's going to get a long
flag down on the play. That was a great run by Weber there as he got a couple good blocks on the outside there. And that's one thing about Weston Weber. He is a hard-nosed football player, and he's just like any back on this team. He'll run the ball hard. He'll hit holes. Just a great, great run. Good execution by our offensive line.
You know, also a great run by Weber. You also got to throw in there a great block by Trent Wooten. Not a lot of, I wish a lot of people would see just that, the downfield blocking these days in high school football and just throughout football. The wide receivers do a great job of blocking downfield. If you can do that, you open up a lot of things that you can do, especially a quarterback keeper right there.
Even on pass plays as well, as you remember, Drew Schroed's touchdown there. I believe it was early third quarter, maybe late second quarter. Like we said, an overlooked block by Trent Wooten, just a great downfield block as he pinned his man against the sideline, giving Drew Schroed a hole for that seam to the end zone.
But there was a flag on the play. It's still going to be a first down. Ball will be placed at the 37-yard line.
Once again, lots of ground game this evening as we're down to under 6 minutes here left in this fourth quarter as PBL leads 22-0 here at Jerry Zimmerman Field, I-57 Stadium.
Weber under center, takes a snap, hands off to Schroed. Schroed finds a good hole.
And Peyton, on a run like that, off your right tackle there, that's just a typical fourth quarter run. You may not get the amount of yardage you want, but a good 3-4 yard chunk every time keeps the clock moving. That's good execution there by the Panthers.
You know what? You're definitely right, Jay. All you got to do, it's fourth quarter. There's 5 minutes left. Just run the ball. It doesn't matter how many yards you get. As long as you get positive yards, you move the ball, you're just going to run the clock. Great job by the Panthers.
From the 40-yard line, approach the 5-minute mark of this contest. PBL going to move to 3-0, 1-0 in the Sangamon Valley Conference. Iroquois West will move to 2-1. Give up the middle. First man through is Halsell. Gain of a couple on the play. Brings up third down and 6.
It was actually Tim Kieran at fullback there as relieved Jesse Halsell of his duty. Jesse Halsell does a great job in this Panther football team. He's a great accent to Drew Schroed. When Drew's maybe a little tired or things aren't working, we hand it to Jesse. He gets good gains that open up seams for not only Schroed but Weber and throwing the ball as well.
You know, to tell you what, Tim Kerr, young sophomore, he's a great kid. Runs the ball real hard. Gives his best effort day in and day out. He does a great job.
Not only is he a threat on offense, but he also plays defense for this varsity team as well.
Yeah, he hits hard.
Number 40, Kerr, the ball carrier.
No gain on the play. Brings up fourth down and 6. PBL will punt.
Fourth down for the Panthers.
Tim Kerr on the carry. No gain. Looks to be 4th and 6. We're nearing the 3:50 mark in this game. Panthers up by 22.
Schroed back to punt on the 41-yard line, 4th and 6. Like Peyton said, just under 4 minutes here. Zirkle back deep to return for the Raiders. Looks like Schroed's going to wait for a count here from the referees. He gets one. Panthers get set, ready for the snap here.
He's going to punt it. It's going to be a pretty good punt. Let's see if we get a good bounce. It's going to go out of bounds. Near the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Iroquois West.
Now, once again, that's we hear Drew Schroed's name a lot, and, right there, that's a good punt. It may not be as much distance as you want, but he gets a good roll out of bounds, pinning Iroquois West in their territory, not necessarily deep back, but with an Iroquois West offense having problems like they have tonight, that's definitely a good job right there by Drew Schroed and the punt team.
Punters play a huge part in the game today. Ball on the 50-yard line, he punts it near to the end zone. Sets up a good position for a defense to make a good stop. A lot of people just don't realize how much it factors into the game. Zirkle back to pass. Incomplete.
Like we've been saying, there's our ball hawks on defense again. There's Vaughn Gensler on the coverage on that play, but not only Vaughn, but But all of the secondary coverage here, like we said, Josh Hopkins had that interception early. They did a great job of reading Keaton Zirkle tonight.
Keaton Zirkle's been shut down. Really, I don't think he's completed a pass all night long. That tells you a lot about our secondary, and our secondary's been doing a great job.
With that being said, we do need to keep it up here in the next couple weeks.
Yes, we got Watsika next week. That'll be a tough game. We got Austin Blair at running back.
He was SVC conference game.
He was an all-state running back last year in the coaches poll. Can't also forget Dalton DePatis, left-handed quarterback.
He throws a pretty good ball.
Yeah, I've always heard. I think last year they said he played running back. So we'll see how we fare against those two. But with our defense playing real well, running the
Absolutely,
ball.
we're doing a great job of closing out this game. Not letting anything happen, just pinning Iroquois West farther and farther back. They have tried to go to the air a little bit more here in this fourth quarter, as you probably would down 22. But our outside contain and our defense in general has done a great job of neutralizing Keaton Zirkle, as we've had a number of sacks. He wasn't even allowed to get any passes off, so credit to them.
Like we said early on, we got to create penetration. We've been seeing a lot of that tonight.
Iroquois West's offense has grown stale here. Early in the fourth quarter, late third quarter, they had been doing a great job. A couple big runs by Bailey Conrad. Bailey Conrad broke a few to the outside, and like we said, their foot speed would be a factor. As it was, they started marching, but, like we say, our defense just held up. Credit to them, though. They ran the ball well for a couple series there.
Yes, they have, Jay. Those two running backs really supply them with a good running game. Bailey Conrad, if he gets out in the open, it's like fire. It just explodes out of nowhere. He comes through. He's a big kid. He's rough. He's mean. He does a good job. But the Panthers have done a good job. But the Panthers have done a good job of defending him and taking care of him.
4th and 4 for the Raiders here. There's a flag on the play as we're under 2 minutes and 30 seconds here to go. PBL looking to go 3-0 on the season and 1-0 in conference play here. Peyton, I recall you had a stat written down about our record this year. What was that stat again about?
Yes, I did. The last time PBL was 2-0 was 2003. That year they went on to start out at 5-0. And they would finish the season at 7-3, which is a very solid record. 4 games over 500.
With that being said, we cannot be satisfied with any wins we've had so far. Which I know Coach Graham will work these guys hard in practice this week. I know they'll definitely be prepared for Watsika. Got to keep that good work ethic going.
Yes, we definitely do. In practice, everyone works hard and everyone gives their best effort. There's no doubt about that. He's wide open. Oh, but they're saying he's out of bounds.
The pass was completed as I guess the Panthers secondary lost a man behind him there. Good eyes by Keaton Zirkle. Keaton Zirkle is a strong kid, folks. Throwing the ball 25 yards on the run, that's not easy. That's good. Actually, that's great vision by him and a good job of the receiver to find that open hole in the zone.
Yeah, Keaton Zirkle definitely being an all-around athlete. Football, basketball, and baseball. And we have a freshman in the game now, Matt Pohl, making his varsity debut on the night. Good luck to Matt out there. Garrettson gets around the outside, down the right sideline. He's going to be pushed out of bounds by Josh Hopkins. Yes, Matt Pohl having a great freshman season. Can't forget Jake Stevenson out there as well tonight. Dressing for the varsity team. He's having a great season as well. Ball's going to go down to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10, IW. Zirkle's in the shotgun formation. Hands it off to Conrad. Conrad's going to go down the right sideline. He's going to be brought down. Looks by Weber.
In the ball carrier. Check that making it Conrad. A 5-yard pickup to the 10, second down and 5.
2nd and 5 for the Raiders of Iroquois West. Minute 35 left in this game. Garrettson on the run. He's going to be brought down. Like we said again, swarming and tackling. Big thing for this team this year.
You know, Garrettson is a big name for this Iroquois West team. You know, he gets shadowed sometimes with Zirkle and Bailey Conrad, but he's certainly a good player as well. He plays hard, too.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They're like him. We said him and Conrad have quick feet. They cut real well, so yeah, we'll see how they fare the rest of the season.
I filmed a really good game today. Why don't we all get interviewed? It'll be like what's it falling off? Baseball. Say some bad things. All right. I would go. How are you doing?
And we're back here at Jerry Zimmerman Field.
Keaton Zirkle, 3rd down and 5 for the Raiders here as they're in scoring position here, possibly to get on the board.
Hand off to Garrettson. Ooh! He was pancaked. Colton Eichelberger laid the wood on right there. Oh my!
You know, Ike's a guy that's hit the weight room really hard, as well as our team in general hit the weight room really hard this summer. And in games like this, and in games we've seen prior this season, it's really showed.
Yes, it definitely has, Jay. You get the guys in there doing squats, power cleans, all that good stuff. Just helps you out, makes you a better athlete all around. Yeah. We're going to take another timeout. And we're back here. 4th and 1 for the Iroquois West Raiders. Looks like Zirkle's in the shotgun formation. He motions Zirkle. And it's going to be handoff to Bailey Conrad. And it's going to be touchdown Raiders. Scratch that. That was Garrettson.
Right there will turn the tides as the Iroquois West offensive line did a great job. Their outer half of the right side, the right tackle, right guard did a good job of kicking in and out any PBL defenders, leaving a wide open hole for the running back there.
I don't know, Jay. Is this a little too late for a little comeback from the Raiders?
I'd say it's too late for a win, but like we said, you know, you never like to give up any points, but we'll gladly take this win if we'll go 1-0 in conference play and 3-0 in the year.
It looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Zirkle and shotgun. Pass. It's going to be incomplete. We're going to have a minute and a half left to play in this game. PBL leads 22-6. We're going to take a timeout. You're listening to Friday Night Football. And we're back here at Jerry Zimmerman Field in Paxton, Illinois.
Minute 27 left here in this fourth quarter. Iroquois West elects to do a little squib kick. It's a great job of the Panthers by falling on that ball, Peyton.
Yes, definitely a good job by the hands team. Little pooch kick from Garrettson, it looked to be. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the 29-yard line. Good key win for the Panthers, going 1-0 in conference play and 3-0.
First and 10 for PBL, minute 5 to go in this one. John Hopkins will take over at the quarterback position.
Hopkins in a quarterback. Hands it off to, looks like Tim Kerr.
As we're under a minute here now at Jerry Zimmerman Field at I-57 Stadium. Seems like we've gotten some of the subs in the game, get them some playing time, as PBL will gladly go to 3-0 on the year.
Yes,
and 1-0 in SVC conference play.
Yes, we'll definitely take that early on in the season. We're going to have Nick Miller out here.
Once again, back to our keys to the game, establishing the run. I thought PBL did a great job of executing. It's a little stale in the first quarter, but we got a lot better. Started creating holes and just making things happen.
And well, tonight we played a great game. We will be back here with our post-game show. Final score: PBL 22, Iroquois West 6. You are watching Friday Night Football.